did the bag say? How many chips did the bag say?
Beautiful pictures there of the Oakwood Premier here in Melbourne. It's the Melbourne Poker Fest presented by the APT Tour. Welcome, everyone, as you join us here for our live stream. Harvey Silver with you here, and be with you here for the rest of the week, all the way through till Monday night. Public holiday in Melbourne on Monday, and we'll be finishing up with the main event then. But at the moment, as you can see on the screen, it's the Goliath. It's our big event here, $2,250 entry, and as you can see up the top, unbelievable. This is only just started, pretty much been going a couple of hours. We already have 50 entries and smash the guarantee. It's going to be a great week here. It already has been a pretty good couple of days in the couple of warm-up events. I know we've done some short streams. I want to thank Josh for holding the fort, doubling up as tournament director and getting in behind the microphone. And talk you through what's happening here. Players have just come back off a dinner break. They've all been playing downstairs on level 5, and then this table has just been shifted up onto the 41st floor of the Oakwood Premier. This is an incredible space, incredible room. This is so different to anything we've done here at the APT Tour. Feels like the old Poker After Dark, a show that probably most of us got our poker education and poker interest from in the States. Beautiful bar and very exclusive up here. As we go to the action for this hand, Tristan, pretty happy with that flop. He's going to bet out here. And he will take that down. There's our chip count here on this table. There's definitely be a few familiar faces to the poker community watching out there. As I can see on the numbers, people start to join us. Probably be repeating myself a few times as the viewer numbers increase, but we are at the Oakwood Premier here in Melbourne. This is the first time for the Australian Poker Tour here in Melbourne. We've had an incredible response. Absolutely incredible response. Lots of faces I haven't seen. So, of course, there are lots of regulars who follow the Australian Poker Tour around and the Poker Tour in general. And obviously a heap of people who've just been waiting and waiting for something like this in Melbourne, which I will, with a little bit of bias, say is the home of poker in Australia. And yes, Saren, thanks for hopping in on the chat. We see all the chat. Get in, talk to me. I'm here alone at the moment. I'll have some players come up and join me in co-commentary as we move along. But yes, up on that top right-hand corner, that's 50 entries that we had, 34 players left at the moment. That both those figures will change enormously. They'll go up and down because this event is a 2-day event, and you can buy in all the way up to the 2 levels tomorrow. So that should be, you know, somewhere around 3:30. So we've smashed this guarantee. We've already got 50 players in at $2,250 buy-in, and you can bet yourself that a lot of players are just hanging out. I'll come in either started tomorrow, maybe a little later tonight, and some will leave it to the last minute for very late entry. A little bit of a pity that it is evening here in Melbourne, because that view out the back out of that camera shot is one of the best views in Melbourne, from 41 stories up, out over Port Melbourne to the bay. Been up the top of the Rialto and the like. I think this is absolutely the best view in Melbourne. Incredible up here. And if you are in Melbourne or in the surrounds, obviously we encourage you to come in and play some of the events. Obviously the full schedule is everywhere on the Facebook and on the APT website, as the boys get a few visitors up here. And this is what we can do up here. We've got an express lift that takes the guys right up the top here. They can come in, say g'day. There's Tony Hashem in there, who's put the whole thing together. And you can come and have a drink up here. There's a bar. You can sit and watch some poker. And you can rev up the players too. It's the closest rail you'll ever see. They're right up behind them. And lots of opportunity to come and watch poker as well as play it. Yeah, so I encourage you to come down, and perhaps if you haven't played a heap and want to get a feel for what it's like to play tournament poker, this is the ideal place to do it. You can satellite your way into one of the big events. $180 satellites coming up for the main event. But this is the big one. 2250 to buy into this. There's James there. Fills up. And this Frenchie's going to do something out of order, which he clearly is not. That'll be a nice pick up there for James. Flopping the full house there. Pretty cool. Get into the players and the hands in more detail as we go along. This is still very early stages of this event.
Jabba, you get excited when I bet the 10?
I bet, I'm like, you obviously had cheese, right?
I mean, I got nuts for cheese, yeah.
On the river, I was so mad. Thinking we could be chopping.
Seat one, first to act.
Didn't you try to pickpocket my bag?
Under the gun here with pocket tens.
Raise, 8,000.
And raises that up to 8,000. And Tristan looks like he's re-raising here. 25K. And we'll get the call. We go to the flop. Looks like a pretty safe flop for tens there. Tristan decides to bet out here. And Frenchie coming along.
First to speak, checks the action.
And it goes check, check to the river.
First to speak, checks the
And another card that comes out below the pocket tens, and they go check, check. Frenchie takes it. with the 10s and increases his chip lead. Nearly a million chips already flying.
Yeah, thanks, Bert. It was pretty heavy for me. I couldn't do it. Well, I mean, what? You playing it or what?
No.
As I said, great setup here. It's an interesting one for the staff. They're getting very fit. It's playing across 3 levels here, but got our main room on level 5. It's a smaller poker room down on 3, and then if you're in a tournament down there and you get moved to the feature table, you've got to collect your chips and get in the lift, obviously supervised by one of the staff here, and head your way up to this plush little poker room up here on level 41 to get on the TV cameras.
Yes, I am.
Pocket kings here for Yi Lee, going under Wayne here. It's an all-in from Quan with an ace 8. It's been called by the kings. And Quan at risk here. We might see our first elimination from this feature table.
And he's complaining. He's about to complain. And
They're not even going to win the hand.
Oh wow. Oh, wow. So, Wayne hitting the full house.
9.
9.
9.
Yes, 9.
9.
Ace.
What?
And despite hitting 2 aces there, Con goes out.
The guy literally just walked in. Why are you calling the cards, right? No, I've got an ace. There's only 1 king or 9 left.
The short stack leaves.
Good game, Dusty Martin. Come on, Dusty. Thank you.
Pretty sure we saw Quan earlier in the broadcast the other day. He got down to the final 2 of the grind. He's taken an early departure here, but I dare say he's a fair chance to buy back in. His prize winnings from the grind will make it very easy for him to buy back into this one.
Very good. I was glad to see him actually. I think he's been running Sims. He came second in the fucking commentator. Right, I saw it all. He's a 3-way king.
Can they hear us?
Oh yeah,
Let's see, we get a couple of spectators in here and they'll do you up a nice cocktail as well.
4,000, raised to 8,000.
Looks like an espresso martini for me from here.
12. Call 8,000. And call.
No, yeah.
Yep.
3-way to the flop here.
3 players to the flop. Thank you. First to speak, check.
All hearts. And the 10 as well for Sean, so he's got everything going here.
Call.
So Sean crawls, Frenchie's got nothing, and Frank got the open ender here.
First to speak checks the action.
This week, Tigers at the line. It's You've got to be good. Swan down. 13.5 stars.
Goes check to the river. And all of a sudden, Frank goes from big dog to hitting that jack. He bets
Bet is 11,000.
11,000. And Sean's going to get the bad news here. He got done on the river.
Make sure you don't open that up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You go that way and then one in.
That's Jabba.
Welcome to you, Vimal, on the chat.
He said he was the poor guy saying no.
He said he called 3,000.
He was talking, but I said it was
Obviously, if you've
Yeah, no, friendship.
got any questions, in addition to just chatting with everyone, I'll try, do my best.
Yeah, who was it?
Certainly any questions about the setup here at the Melbourne Poker Fest. This is tournament poker in Melbourne outside of Crown
Small blind, please.
for the first time. Well, I'm going to say for a long time, but can't remember this happening
How much is turn out?
because
Small blind is 2,000.
we've got a major partner in here, which is our ticketing agency, and you
Pays for 9,000.
get into these events by buying a ticket through the agency. It's Dazzle tickets, you can see them there on the inside of the table, and
2 players for the flop.
you then pay your tournament entry. All the tournament entry money obviously goes back to the players.
Yeah. Check. The button.
Booking fee is separate.
Bet 4,000.
It's a hell of a flop for Frenchie. Tristan's going to think Queen 10 is pretty good. It's, as we can see, 1%. He's going to be hoping for his sake he doesn't hit anything here. When he looks back on the stream in half an hour, he's going to realise that he's been stitched on the flop. 2-5. It's a full house. Comes along though. Again, maybe fortunately for Tristan's sake, he hasn't hit there. I think Frenchie's going to be able to get any more out of him.
The bet is 80,000.
Very quick fold. And takes that pot down.
Get me water, and I did it proudly. No one else would do it. Yeah, of course. Who won that pot? French.
4,000 call. Raise to 8,000. Call 8,000. Small blind fold.
So this could get fun. Sean looks down at pocket jacks. He's had a raise and a call in front of him.
40,000. Raise. Fold.
So 3-bet to 40. Frenchie, as the pocket nines, has been on a heater of a run here to start with. Lots of, well, he's even made bad cards turn into good cards. And he's going to
Call
come along. So it's jacks against nines to the flop.
Do you want to give a credit? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. 2 plays to the flop. Bet.
Ace, queen, 4 is the flop. Horrible flop for
20.
both of them, really.
Fold.
But Sean decides to bet and gets a quick fold.
Ace, no ace, and I was in.
No ace and you were in?
Maybe but for you. We will see in half an hour.
True. On that flop, I didn't want you to be in. I had a good hand. Good hand on that flop. It was not a good hand anymore.
King Jack suited.
Two blind folds.
Tens.
I wanted more of an 8 high board.
Yeah, I guess I'm lucky 8 I wasn't taking this.
Yeah.
Probably. Not sure.
But I'll take it on that board anyway.
Fold. Raise to 8,000. Fold. Call 8,000. Just small blind fold.
So now James picks up pocket queens. They min raise and call in front of him. I'm going to see a raise here without question. It's just going to be how much?
Raise to 42,000.
It's 42. And
Fold.
it's fold, as you'd imagine. Very early in this event, in this $2,250 buy-in event. The Goliath, as it's called here. So definitely see different play early in event to at a midpoint and certainly towards the end. We've got a good table here. Boys they keep using the word relaxed. They are relaxed and having a bit of a chat, which we like.
Fold.
Certainly gets a bit quieter as you get deep in an event, and it's the money bubble bursts. It's incredible how it changes.
Small blind fold.
No, man, it doesn't matter which one game anyway. That's true.
They can't even close.
Very, very hard to get. Over
Over
commentator.
Raise.
You need friendship.
Raise to 12,000.
He's right next to it.
Which one game anyway?
I don't want this one. I'm awarding you the win.
Small blind fold.
Okay.
Hey guys.
What the fuck did you say, man?
What's going on, mate?
There you go.
Couple more guests popping in up here. This is what happens.
Is in the house. Yes, he's gone. Now we've got a game.
Oh, I'll be happy to see
This
you.
table's
Really,
tight.
it's really like it. Why you guys are... Well, the last time I
think
played,
it-
Mike,
Yes.
I'm sure he is. I'm like, you know.
Did you just get
I got you up here.
Now we got a new player, of course.
You said no?
Well, I said,
Catch up for you, surely.
have a choice, right?
Yes.
If you agreed with me.
It was good before.
I said get Egan up here.
Jabs and I. It was good before. And it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone bad.
It was good, mate. Yeah, it's gone terrible.
big blind is here?
Nah, mate, you know my family's watching.
Michael's come up with
They're watching Uncle Skunk.
On your
Dad.
first act.
200K chips. And he's just had those change into lower denominations for him, so he can actually play here.
Main event, yeah?
Well, it'll be hard to do this time, I think. You had a good, you had the best hand.
Nice reception for Michael, well-known player.
No, if I was lucky someone does me, I would have
Small blind folds. Wait,
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, you
He folded.
Yeah. What about you? Yeah. Swing the whole family?
Seat one fold. 3 players on the
Perfect,
flop.
yeah.
Frank
Yeah, it's tough.
staying in there with the 7-5.
Yeah, okay. They can't go outside too much.
First day. Check.
So King 8-4 flop.
Play some cash.
No, it's not for now.
The bet is 17,000. Fold. Fold.
Bet's going to do it for Tristan. Obviously some very familiar people on the table too, people watching in this chat here. Here we go. I'll see your chat in half an hour, these guys. So just a reminder too, probably worth mentioning that we commentate this half an hour behind the live action, and we're actually watching it a half an hour behind. We're not commentating it live and then sending it out with a delay. We are actually watching it on the delay. We've no idea what's going on in that room live. We're out in a little commentator's booth.
Raised to 8,000.
Our operations, Maddie running it over here, working away, doing a great job.
You told me right, Joey. You got heaps, right?
Talk you through some of the technicals of what we're doing soon, if you're interested. Just how we actually put this together for you.
Okay. Oh,
But we've got some incredible poker software that allows us to do this.
okay, cool.
Some of the stuff obviously has to be done manually, but even something like the cameras switching between the players, that's all done with the software. Software knows who's next to act and follows the players around the table on the basis of who's next. Saves us having someone in here switching the cameras every hand.
7,000.
But we are manually keeping track of the bets, so our dealer is wearing a headset, as you'll see, and telling us the bets. Maddie, sitting in here in operations, is putting the bets in as they're called.
Checks it.
Still nothing there.
Checks it.
So it goes check, check, go to the river, and it's an ace. And probably go check, check here. Does. Michael takes it with these pocket fours. It's been an interesting setup here, being in a single room. Normally our feature table is in the middle of a big room full of tables. It's noisy and there's lots of stuff going on around the feature table, but here this is really different. It feels very exclusive, very VIP. The players to come up the lift 41 floors and come into this beautiful function room with its own bar, beautiful leather, velvet couches,
He said he
As
was
you can see,
yeah, well, I mean,
Fold.
if you're railing someone up here, you can sit down on a couch, grab a cocktail.
Raised to 8,000.
Why is not jamming the 10? Only bet 200,000
And during the day,
Fold.
incredible view. And even
against Jack.
waiters, drink waiters coming around.
He had jacks.
Nippy got top pair with like 4 10 out.
Wayne picks up
Check calling.
suited ace king.
Yeah.
Oh, that hand was fine.
27,000.
Like,
Fold. Small blind
No, I
fold.
think he can fold it. Yeah, he was
27,000.
Frank's got the pocket threes. He lets that go.
Or he can have the straight. He's got plenty of the
And it gets round to Sean, who gives it up.
eight. So he has 7, 8, pocket 8. He raced from early, he's got from small blind. So really hard hand. Really hard hand. But maybe if you had blackjacks, you would call it. With the jack of hearts, you know.
when you bet 200,000, I was thinking you don't even think really.
How much was shot like 300?
300.
That was crazy, man.
It shouldn't have happened that way. How played up.
Why you don't bet 120%?
Yeah, 70% pot in the turn.
He did, yeah. It should have gone in on the turn.
65% pot in the turn. It wasn't a small bet.
But because you're not really good, you should jump, then no headache at least. If I want flush draws, then at least you don't have to sing
I want
well.
flush draws to call, you know? I want to get, you know?
Are you?
I want to get value from
Thank
that.
you.
So if you
Okay.
get
I
like
lose flush draws, you know? This guy. I didn't think
you want flush draw to call and the flush didn't get there, you found the fault, yeah? This is what you're saying?
It was.
But this is what he's saying, yeah?
Yeah, if I call that, I'll be the tournament.
No, because you started but you actually
Small blind
Frank
fold.
with
I want to have a big.
aces in the small blind. He just calls. Make sure that Matt stays in. It's not a bad hand either, though. King 9 suited. Let's see what happens here. It's one heart. Not much else there for Matt.
Check.
Check, check. There's the ace. We're going to kill it for Matt. Not really the card that Frank probably wanted to try and keep Matt in this, but does bet 10k. There's absolutely nothing there for Matt, so he's out.
Stop checking the limit, man.
snap back and check back.
Of course it's true. I was waiting for them to check. I was snap check. What do you think on the value? Huh? Do you think on the value for that one?
but like you really,
King 10.
I think
I
he
mean,
would actually call me on the
no, it's not.
Probably.
Yeah.
He would have
If
to
he doesn't jump, he probably
Six.
check back. I don't know.
I reckon you should bet call rid of the points.
That's what it's like. Yeah.
Just bet like quarter pocket and call him off.
He's just better anyway. He's deserving.
And where did he come? He came 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's fighting
But
words,
you,
that is.
I think he was really unlucky one
Yeah,
hand.
Queen's versus 9
He told me.
against Jerome.
And he hit a 9, right?
And Jerome at
8,000.
risk. And Jerome cleaned up after
Fold,
that.
fold, fold. The button fold.
Kings against Jacks against 10s against Queen 10.
Small blind fold.
Who won?
Big blind fold.
Well, who?
Two
Jerome.
players to the flop.
But did you see how good he ran on the final table?
First.
my
First
God.
speech
Did you watch my hand?
What did I just
You want me to watch my hand?
He literally took them away from the flop.
No, I looked some hands, but then I
Wasn't even finished. Oh no, I had half a drink left.
Oh, yeah, you want me to
37,000.
I'm a bubble.
Fold.
Like literally with nothing, but
Yeah, I only had that much, but Skunk Captain's quite like he had quite a bit still.
I like a lot.
Yeah.
They took our drinks. You want me to watch it, man? All of us are saying we done.
It'll be like the quickest final table ever.
Alright.
He's almost tired.
We're going to check cameras.
But I'm glad Tongue
I want to see it on the camera.
I'm 100%.
Yeah.
Swear to
Small
God.
tournament.
Swear I did not.
Big blind, thank
You
you.
playing 25? You playing the 25? 2500 really.
Tomorrow, is it?
Oh, no, it's on Thursday, yeah.
I'm not forgiving running though.
I was supposed to run and I said to Josh, I'm not going to run for you.
Josh.
Uncle. 1,000 for people play that in Belgium.
call.
9.
9,000 raise. Small blind folds.
Yeah, for sure.
Folds on 4,000. 1,000 change.
Big blind, Jabba. Skipping the big blind, mate.
Hold up.
Fold. 2 1 folds. 2 folds. 3 calls.
We sang encore. The same as last time.
4 folds. 5 folds.
How much of mine is it?
Call.
Six, right?
3 blind.
You actually got it at the
3 players to the flop.
But first time, the morning
That's a big check.
check.
Check. Check.
No, if I want to go, I want to go for like 2 or 3 weeks. I'm not going to.
First to speak. Checks. Check. The bet is 10,000.
Yeah.
3 bets 10,000.
Rush. Cool.
Call 10,000. Fold.
Alex and Paris are there. Alex.
15,000 change.
In the mixed game.
Check. The bet is 15,000.
Brisbane.
Set my cover on the middle route. Thank you, Dave.
What?
Raise. 85,000. Fold.
You get saying, maybe you might behind it. Pretty sure you know.
Around what I got anyway.
It was better than what was it? In Burkott, before the 5K was good.
My legs are still
So it's like king against ace. I'll turn 5%. He played it up there.
How do you go?
He was in the beginning and just winning like 3. Usually you always start to win alone.
Thank you, first.
Blinds are up, next hand, 2.5, 5, and flop, that's a big blind.
Blinds up next hand. Fold. Set 2. Set 2
May have
fold.
just heard that in the background. Blinds will be up next hand.
Set 5 fold.
2.5, 5.
Raise to 8,000.
To the end of level 10, 9? 10.
Small blind calls
So after
8,000.
the break, 1 level. Oh, sorry, mate.
Yeah, no, I'll just double check that.
That's what I got told. I just wanted to.
Big blind folds. 2 players to the flop.
determined that we will do some broadcasting at least over the weekend, starting earlier in the day, so you can get a bit of an idea of that view out the back window. It's pretty crazy.
You just tie that up for me.
Yeah. Obviously gonna
Check.
do some moves happening
boring.
here.
He's wearing
Picking
that
up the
silly,
chips.
that silly beanie. No ties.
Oh yeah.
So
Retrospect checks.
Sean's already got the check mark
I
here.
think they have a cash game like that. If you VP, like you'd have to keep your VP at like 30-35%.
Where he's gonna get any money out of
Check.
Went like
Yeah,
that.
well, like that as
James.
well. Yeah,
goes check.
yeah.
At the rate
If you let it
here.
drop, so like if you get to like 32%, you're like, oh shit, I have to play the next hand, doesn't matter what, or else I get kicked off the table.
But you get this point.
Yeah, VP. Yeah.
James is gonna make a bit of a play here. I think maybe his king high is good enough. He might. A fishy bet.
Fold.
No, James checked it there, and Sean's bet, obviously.
True.
What is going on here?
21.
21,000.
There you go.
Yep.
Takes 16k win there. So a reminder again, this is a 2-day event. People will continue to buy in. We've had 54 entries already, which is incredible.
And the blinds are
Continue to
up.
buy in through the night, and then a couple of levels tomorrow before we close off the entries. Rejoin this tomorrow and play it all the way down to a winner.
Raised to 11,000.
But
Seat 3 folds.
tonight,
After bigger.
just a little bit of
Seat 4 folds. Seat
early
6
stage poker, not the same sort of pressure on the players at the moment. It's probably why the table's so chatty.
Small blind folds.
A chance to see how many of these guys
Calls.
you'll see tomorrow and deep into tomorrow. Go to the flop again. Here.
Retrospect checks. The bet is 10,000. Fold.
How do you know a hand jobber? I literally had the hand just then.
Good job.
You probably had it as
Okay,
well,
bet
right?
takes it down.
Oh, that one.
Michael.
Alright.
Sorry, I wouldn't talk about what I have in that hand when you're playing on.
Saw him join the table with 200k chips not that long ago. He's on the right trajectory here.
How's life been about eggs? Good?
Well, he's just had daycare, and now I just I've got like all the diseases
Oh,
coming at me.
what's
So
the
I think, yeah,
process?
honestly, it's just quick, but it's had like 2 colds in a month, and it's just like,
Going
bad,
well.
bad, yeah. Right, it's good to get, you know, the wife looks great. Yeah.
Thank you. 5,000 to call. Raised to 10,000. Fold.
Look at one hand.
Look at what? Oh, it's gone. Not entertaining enough.
Did you see
Raised to 35,000.
Open button?
Fold. Fold.
Yep, Queen 10. How do you know?
I just saw.
Oh, it's already on. Yeah.
We got over bed because I was thinking yesterday. I
Did
was
you
trying
know?
to- I was thinking he had something, so I
Oh, wow. Yeah. You called the turn at 310.
I'm a king. I thought it was
How big your phone?
Yeah.
I'm not targeting it.
I contemplated the 4-bet,
Oh man, it's
Yeah,
definitely.
okay.
it's not a hand I want to use, so lucky for me.
Yeah, you're short enough King 10.
Yeah. someone at the end, so
That's why he got kicked off. Get up here.
They don't want to see this.
Don't want to see this crap poker.
Sometimes you got it, sometimes you don't.
I'm saying, look at so lucky though on the bottom, you know, sometimes.
Look at the hair, look at the hair, look at the hair. Let go, let go, give it back. Come on,
Trade cameras.
I went to a different hairdresser. He just ruined me.
I got one of them when I was 16, I reckon.
Dude, I didn't ask for this. You should do
16, I
Why are you
reckon.
going for it? Huh?
£5 please.
Because I like it.
Raise to 10,000. Folds to C1. Calls 10,000. Small blind folds. Big blind folds. 3 players to the flop.
So we go 3 to the flop here. See if Sean's deuces can hold up.
First to speak. C3. Check.
There's the 10 for Frenchie, as well as the royal flush draw. Let's hope it goes another card and see if he can hit the royal.
The bet is 16,000.
I think he's going to give him a chance.
C3 fold.
No.
C6 fold.
Sean, and we're out there, so never got a chance to see it. Oh, you love that. You love that royal flush draw on the flop.
Any other guys want to drink?
Thanks, Max.
Don't know if I've actually seen one at the APT. Commentating all of these events, I actually don't think I've seen a royal. Certainly seen quite a few 4 of a kinds. I think I've seen a straight flush. No, I've definitely seen a straight flush. I haven't seen a royal.
You believe in yourself there. It's quite hot in here. Yeah. It's quite warm in here, I reckon. It is hot, eh? A bit warm in here. I can take it off.
Raise to 10,000.
Got to promote. I will take it.
But not too early.
I know, I'll take it. Well, Ash will get mad at me if I don't.
Yeah, just take the hoodie off.
Take it off.
Come on, you're training. There's a reason behind it.
Only picked up a few aces.
Ash's going to get mad at me for taking it.
Sean, this time it's a suited A3.
Button folds.
The man. Oh, was it yesterday?
Frank,
You sent it to me just
Oh, shit.
Yes.
I don't know, Frank realised it was that much to call out of the small blind with his 5-3.
Oh, that's
That's
right. That's right. And
gonna, I think, fold that. Even though it's cheap, move to play. Yeah, he's gonna come
The
in.
big blind
I'll have a
folds.
look.
3 players to the flop.
yeah.
C3 first to act.
Yeah.
C3 checks.
And they check it.
C4 on the table, please. Checks. Thank you.
So
C6.
comes around to Sean. He's hit his ace. He might be happy to bet out here and just make sure he takes it down. Frank has hit
C3 calls
a piece of
10,000.
his little 5-3, so he calls. And Matthew
You can hear and
does nothing. Gets out of the way.
Oh, they can.
see your poker.
It depends how loud they're talking to me.
C3's
I
first
think
to
there's
act.
only
And-
one contact
C3
now.
checks.
So a pretty good idea for Frank to stay
You
in.
and Josh maybe a bit
Is
more.
he- Now has 3 of a kind. Sneaky. There's no way Sean's going to see this.
What's the Crown 2004?
Frank.
C3 checks.
And then
Go check.
And then you move to focus
To the
time.
river.
C3's first to
He
act.
is. There you go.
Sean it all, obviously. So Frank looking for chips, stacking them up here. So it's going to be a decent bet into a 55k pot.
42.
42,000 is the bet. 42.
42.
Call 42,000.
42. Laying that down. He is. And
8,000.
spot there for Frank.
That's a hard in here, and I work with like
Probably got caught with his hand in the cookie jar a couple of times, but that time
This guy knows probably your own.
there were cookies in the jar, and he pulled a couple of them out. Nice little chip up there for Frank, who now sits on over 400,000 chips.
I'm not sure.
He's still our runaway chip leader on this feature table. Sean's just over starting stack there. He's been incredibly active, Sean, but I don't think because he's getting out of hand, I just think he's been getting a lot of good starting hands.
Raise to 10,000.
Certainly a lot of playable starting hands. This time we've got a good starting hand for Wayne. He raises to 10k.
Small blind
The
fold.
Rockets.
Big blind folds.
Unfortunately, can't get anyone to come along with him. Shows the pocket aces. Slightly more if someone comes along and plays with you though, with pocket aces.
He used to go around Crown Casino and pick people's pockets before he became a lady.
That's me, I think.
Sorry.
That's alright, doesn't matter.
Come on.
I don't know.
That would be definitely
I don't think
Put it back there.
Thank you, blind, please. James is big blind.
Oi, Frenchie. I've got a question for you. The moment, it's
Talks to
Berkey's
talk, but he hasn't walked the walk.
fiance. Because she got a question for you. You get time.
Big blind.
I'll wait for your hand.
1 second.
Big blind.
I'm big blind.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
No,
you.
no, no. I folded pre, so it would have been pretty good.
I'm just saying, yeah.
I can't even remember. Is that?
Anyway, that's obviously not
right. So
quite right. Had a hangover there on the graphics from the previous hand. I don't think
So it must
Wayne's
be
folding pocket aces there.
hands. Sorry, Joe, I can't. You got
green
behind there?
Yeah,
Good to go.
Appreciate it.
Matt does have the ace
I've
king
got a dirty one here as well.
on the button.
Like sitting next to me as well.
11?
11,000.
No,
Raise to
no.
11,000.
Sorry. Can you stop saying 10? It is a
what's
straight
it, 10?
11. Very different.
11,000.
Okay. How much is this tip?
11,000.
Cool.
Call. Change to come. And call.
Who's got?
I need 11. Thank you.
So James comes along cheap,
Right.
out of the big blind. 3 to the flop here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Two players to the flop. Seat 6, ace first to act. Check.
This is everyone.
Seat 7, check. Seat 4. Seat 4, check. Seat 6 is first to act. Check. Seat 7, check.
No, Trent, he's
Seat
being moved back to the main floor. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that makes it easier, right? There's a couple times I've gone and no problems at all with tax.
And look at that for runner
check.
for James.
But it's not as bad as Australian situation.
The check mark there, of course, the 2 pair.
Yeah. Once you win the main, it's
Nothing for anybody, unfortunately.
The bid is 30,000.
Yeah.
Seat 7.
Bet 30 is a lot.
Yeah.
Seat 4,
Yeah.
fold.
Sports betting and trading things. Yeah, but that works to an extent.
He's having a think, but I think better of it.
Let's win something just.
If his ace high is good enough. I say he's going to take a little time and then put those cards into the muck, but just thinking through the betting, thinking through how that went. If James had a queen on the flop, would he not have bet? One of the cards he could have though.
Fold.
And he does push him into the muck. Makes the right decision.
Are you serious?
No, I'm gonna say
You shouldn't be saying this already.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
It's just funny.
No, it's not funny, man.
Yeah, it's funny.
How's that funny?
Raise to 10,000. Seat 1 raises to 10,000.
And I guess you get access to his
Seat 3 calls.
Sure, I know.
Oh yeah, like that.
Seat 4 folds.
$5.
Seat 7 folds on 2,500.
Sorry, I've got some up now.
Thank you.
You raise?
I raise it again.
I fold.
The big blind folds. 2 players.
I mean, what?
Yeah.
Seat 1's first at 8. The bet is 7,000. Fold.
Frenchie betting out the open-ended straight and
Pot.
Give me out of it.
counts. Mind it was a 200 starting stack. This is a $2,250 entry. Poker's will guarantee a 100K prize pool, and we got the numbers for that before they even started dealing the first hand. Been a great response.
Raised to 11,000. Seat
Done.
3 folds. Seat 4 folds.
He's got the walking sticks and bets it up to 11K.
Seat 7 folds.
The one you only win good.
And Wayne. Ace jack off.
Small blind calls 11,000 for seat 1. Seat 1 calls. 3 to the
Discount
flop.
out of the big blind, so he calls another 6. We've got 3 going to this flop. Ace jack, king 9, pocket 7s. This is a lot of them.
Seat 8 checks. Seat 1 checks.
Really good flop for 7s. Bet your life that Michael's out here.
Seat 2 bets 13,000.
13.
Yeah, I can go to seat 8. Seat 8 folds. Seat 1 folds.
It's the sort of flop you want to see when you've got a middle pair.
Did you already turn it down? Yeah, because everyone was pretty hot, right? We were all, yeah.
I'm wearing a jumper, but
Normally you can wear a jumper.
yeah,
On the tables and,
the other night it was pretty comfortable. I reckon. It's a bit
yeah,
hot.
because we got in here and it was cold. And
Yeah.
it
It was freezing here, but
Yeah, and now it's hot.
Actually pretty cool in that room. Having been in there a little while ago.
better when it's on.
Seeing It's t-shirt territory early in the week, but it's hoodies now. The uniform of the poker player.
The action's on seat 3. Seat 3 calls 1,000. Seat 4 folds. Seat 6 folds. Seat 7 folds.
Jack on the button there for Wayne. Dare say he wouldn't mind having a look at a flop. Acting last, so he does.
Seat 8 calls.
Oh, goodness me. He has picked up some cards for it.
Seat 1 raises to
Even in this short
25,000.
period,
Seat 2
raises
folds.
it up to 25.
Seat 3
I don't
calls
think he's gonna-
25,000. The action
Frank
goes
decides
seat 8.
to test his hand, as he's prone to do,
Fold.
and with 2 other
Three
players
players
in
see the
there,
flop.
Wayne will contribute, because it's worth his while to have a look at this flop. He
The
hits
action
his jack.
starts at seat 1.
Could spell a bit of trouble for Wayne here.
The bet is 30,000.
No mucking around from Frenchies. He puts another
Seat
30
3
in.
folds.
Frank gets out of the way. He's hit the top card
Seat
there,
8
so
folds.
he's coming along. It's another 31 in.
The action goes with seat 1.
And an ace, which might actually slow the action down for both of these guys now. See if Frenchie's going to continue. He does. It
Seat
won't
one
be a
gets
huge bet though, I would have
75,000.
thought. 70-ish maybe. Yep, 75. It's tough for Wayne to continue here. He can't.
Yeah, come on.
Good bet there. Frenchie just, it's worth his while to put that in and see if Wayne actually did have an ace. And again, chips move down to Frenchie, and he's now over 1 million chips. Have a look at the other chip stacks on this table. He's got just about nearly as much as the rest of the table combined. Going well. You've got to remember, we've only just started this event. He's cleaning up at this stage, so not to play a chip stack by 5 times in such a short space of time. That's it's pretty good poker.
25,000 to call. The action starts with seat 4. Seat 4 folds. Seat 6 folds. Seat 7 raises to 11,000. Seat 8 folds. Seat 1 folds. Right line folds. The big blind calls 11,000. 2 players to the flop. Seat 3 check.
Ruggers, we're a 4-minute drive from paddle court. Just FYI. You know, there's the paddle court in
Seat 7.
Docklands.
Bet's
We're
8,000.
just like a few minutes away.
Oh, you mean here?
Yeah, here.
Yeah. When I drove home, I noticed.
You drive past?
Yeah, I was like driving past, and I'm like, I saw some big thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a paddle.
Yeah, no, it's good, that one.
Yeah,
Call.
yeah. That's yeah. We should have a game.
You haven't played
The 5.
ages.
No, me
It's nice
neither.
for you guys, I think.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
believe
played
this?
for a
that
while.
James
I think the
now
last time I played was
has
that
quads.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Seat 3 bet
Frank keeps
60,000.
betting into quads.
Couple months. Well, that's the one to play it as well. At this
Seat
time of
7
year.
calls 60,000.
Just
If
calls
it's
it.
like
What a
rain.
surprise.
Oh, yeah.
See if Frank can hang himself on the river. He's surely got to slow down here, Frank. Frank, stop.
We organise a game before we play.
Yeah, it won't be too sticky. We don't work that hard.
Seat 3 check.
We might get a bet from James here with quads. What do you
I'll
reckon?
go have a shower first. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
Little does he know that
Yeah.
Frank has absolutely
So that's
nothing,
facility,
and
sir?
James's
No.
quads are not going to get any further betting here.
Just need 4 people to bust at the same time. You can play
Just
after.
figuring out, can I put
Yeah.
any amount in that he's going to
Smack
call?
way to chill.
Decides to go after
125,000.
125. Frank looks like he's really just trying to figure out, can he call this with 7 high? Probably not. So I think off it goes.
6 folds.
I hope James shows the 5. He's not going to. Again, Frank, cookie jar. He's certainly keeping us entertained, Lucas. I think he is okay. He's just beating Frank.
Small blind, thank you. 6 folds. 6, 7 and 10, 8 fold. Seat 1. Raise to 10,000.
Surprise. Frenchie's got cards again, and this time he will get some action as Michael picks up
Yeah, Connell's
pocket
got to
9s
get away, mate. That's all right.
on the button.
Get yours out big
Call
boy.
10,000. String small blind folds.
Frank folds,
Mate, this
and
thing-
Matthew
put you on
gets a
the floor.
discount
Right on the
here
floor.
out of the big blind, but he's only got an 8-5.
Get that thing off
He thinks to himself,
They are that big, mate.
it's worth
Actually, you should
at
get
least
that.
having a look at a flop. Might get
3
lucky.
folds to fill the flop.
I'll put his arms to shame.
The action will start with seat 4.
You did get the error on the big boy. Yep.
Check.
No good straws.
Seat 1.
See, you're not complaining.
Spades.
No, no, that's like those are like complain.
It's too hot. It's too cold. Goldilocks over here.
Matthew's hit the bottom end of this,
Just right.
a little bit of it,
Look what they've done to me.
pairing his 5,
Topping.
and
Seat 2
Michael
bets 12,000.
Trying to get out of commentary.
confident his 9s are still way ahead, so he bets out 12k.
They've no mucking around here.
Well, you just need to power time yourself.
Call.
Yeah, I probably.
Seat 1
Yes,
folds.
Bullshit.
Decides
No, perfect. It's perfect. Put your jumper on. You got jumper?
his pair of 5s at this point are worth staying in for.
I'm right. I've got a jumper, but it's hot.
It is hot, yeah.
And
Now it's cooled down.
it's the turn.
Good.
Seat 4 starts the action. Seat 4 checks. Seat 2 the button. The bet is 25,000.
So that single 25k chip. Will take it down.
Folds. Seat 7 folds. Seat 8 folds. Seat 1. Raise to 10,000. Seat 2 folds. Seat 3 calls. Small blind, seat 4 folds.
Tomorrow, let's do this.
Big blind calls.
Yeah, that's good. Russian blind.
3 players to the flop.
Yeah.
Seat 6 starts the action, checking. Seat 1's at 15,000. Seat 3 folds. Seat 6 folds. Something's moved.
No. Last week no, it's coming this week.
So, a reminder again, we're here at the Oakwood Premiere in Melbourne. Get down if you're in Melbourne or in the surrounds. This week's going to be a fantastic week of this tournament poker festival put on by the Australian Poker Tour. This is the big buy-in event, $2,250 Goliath. As you can see up in the top corner there, we've got 57 entries already in this 2-day event. 36 players in at the moment. Be a lot of rebuys, a lot of people coming in later in the evening, and we know for those late buy-ins, we'll have people coming within the first 2 levels tomorrow before we close it out. Hit the guarantee before the first cards were dealt. 100K. It's just summing up what's going on here. People loving having tournament poker back in Melbourne.
What are you doing?
It's not progressing.
We are aware that we're having a little bit of trouble with that microphone out on the table. It's distorting a little bit when the players get a little bit loud. We're trying to bring you as much chat as we can. Normally it's pretty quiet, so when they get loud it does distort a bit. We'll get a break pretty soon. We'll get out there and try and make some adjustments. Try and make the experience as good as we can for you guys.
Seat 3 raises to 10,000. Seat 4 folds.
So, be joined by some poker identities after the break too. We get into later evening. We know when people watch this stuff, it is later in the evening. Holding the fort for the moment. Hope you're enjoying it.
2 players to set it up.
You've played a World Series played one, yeah? Just one?
Seat 3 start the action.
Super flop for
Bet is
Wayne.
15,000.
Hits the king.
The World Series room, like,
Flush draw.
it's kind of just amongst everything, yeah, the cameras there, but it is. You do it like this.
Frank keeps finding himself in these positions,
Seat 8
hoping that his opponent has nothing, betting out.
And have it up there.
And now the check mark goes to Wayne as he adds an 8 to the king that he already had.
The spear like right at the
Top there.
yeah.
The views out there.
It's gone check to the river. Wayne hoping he was going to get a bet there.
At the top of the parish, you get a ring in the middle.
Your problem is you don't get a rail.
See how much he bets.
It's allowed a rail.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but just dedicated for the FT. Because right now you have to be on the same level. It's kind of just amongst it.
Yeah, yeah.
Whereas this is out here. That's why this is so good.
I think the main should stay where it is though.
You do. Main table where it is.
Yeah, sure.
Like those
Bet is
three.
40,000.
Yeah,
That's
three
good.
dollars in there.
But like other,
Yeah.
other events maybe. It's something
Yeah, you probably want
Frank looks like he's
Which is a World Series, mate. You're kind of away.
can't wait for the break to come soon enough. He gets up. I think he's just going to have a slow walk around the room.
Oh, that's
He's definitely trying to make something happen here, Fred.
Into
And
the cash games.
outside of
I
that,
think the 100 and 250 used to be up there.
odd K-pop that he picked up,
Played it or final
he just keeps running into hands.
Yeah, watching like Patrick Antonius and Ivy and those.
even Billy Cock played it.
Yeah.
Couldn't bluff anyone.
Another small one, thank you. T2 starts the action, 5,004. T3 faults, T2
We
faults.
love so much about poker. One of the things we also love is how people just revel in other people's misery.
T4 raises to 10,000.
You watch Frank storm back, come from nowhere, runner, and clean it up. His night will change.
Six re-raises,
Sean's got
50,000.
pocket queens and he raises.
Sorry, 30,000.
I think it's 30, not 50.
30,000.
Yep, 30. And we're going to get a nice bit of action here on this hand. As James
65,000. Small blind fold.
4 bets it up
Big
to
blind fold.
65. Yes, everyone will be out of the way.
Go up to 6-4.
Matthew, bit of Hollywooding before he puts the cards in. And Sean, what's he going to do here? This is a really interesting spot. Yes. You know Jabba pretty well here, so
You treat every tournament like a done. Yeah, I trust you like that. You're not going to play tomorrow. You're not going to play tomorrow.
All in.
and it is an all-in. And we get a call, and here we go. We're off to the races.
I'll cover him.
Queens against the Ace King.
Anyone have an ace or a king?
I 100% win this one.
Would you?
7-5 suited.
Thank you. All in
All
fold.
in for
We'll see the flop.
It's Jabba at risk here.
Jump on in. Oh boy. You get to see my whole cards. Might be good or might not be
You're going to
good.
win, Rex. You're going to get the double, mate.
Piss off.
You're going to get the double.
It's an Ace or a King. Doesn't get it. It's a nice big pot there.
Ace king.
Give him the pot. Just give it to him.
16 is 8,000. 18,000.
Nice big pot.
68,000.
Pretty much played itself out, that hand. Certainly at this stage of a rebuy event as well. Come over the top with the Queens. It's a must call.
Thank you very
The
much.
Ace King. And the Queens hold up there, so Jabba just trying to figure out
Ace king, yeah, of course.
how much he's got left.
Good evening.
It's not going to be a heap, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, I'm here. Huh? No, I'm just like visiting.
No,
I was thinking you was going to say
Huh?
Jenny was looking for me, so I was thinking you just
Ah, okay.
I didn't.
No, she's there playing tournament as well. The 450.
Change.
Oh, camera's on the table. I thought you were just spectating.
I should be.
Maybe soon.
I actually want to see
Lines
how
up,
the big
next
boys
hand,
play.
3,
Well,
6,
that's why you're
6.
here. I got another big boy up here. They want to see clash. Because those chips will look nice here, wouldn't they?
So, James, or
Wouldn't they, Egan? They look better in
Jabba,
front of
as
me.
he's known,
They'll come back.
Like a boomerang brand.
down below the starting stack now, 164.
Oh shit, what's going on?
We didn't even troll each other the other hand. We didn't even know each other.
100,000, yeah.
The first.
I mean,
See that Frank is still there.
Small blind is here.
Just
What's going on here? Tam's still
suggestion was he
Yeah.
might have just gone for a
He hasn't done anything.
cold face towel.
Damn still
I
is
don't think that's the case.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Before he left the table.
Damn knew what was going on. I didn't know what it was.
It was 2.5.
5,000, so you got 40 bigs.
And
Okay, plenty.
Yeah.
so we've got a
And
new
he's on
player
five.
there.
Raised to 10,000.
Key coming in.
Confusion over the
Huh?
change.
First time.
No, I've been here before. Oh, I've been really
Yeah.
tight.
On that
Yeah,
starting
we've
stack of 200k in chips.
Jackson's on 38. Fold.
You're too
Seat
lucky.
1. Seat
You're
1
not seeing
fold.
enough an hour.
Decides sit down and raise it up straight away up to 10k.
No, you got more than me.
Big blind call.
Michael,
2 players.
big blind special.
I don't have any.
5-4. We go to a flop.
Seat 2's first stack. Just check on the table, please.
Safety first.
Seat 5 checks.
Section.
Next card. Seat 2. Seat 2 checks.
Check.
Seat 5 checks.
You want to show us something? Stack size a bit awkward there. Might box almost a full off.
Seat 2 checks. Seat 5 checks.
I win.
Got you dominated.
Joking around there. No all in, of
First
course.
blood.
She sits down and picks up some chips. It's a nice way to do it.
So that's 25. I'm taking 5.
Just a second raise hand.
That's 25.
Get to the fire, yeah. 1-1.
So the blinds are now up to 3,000, 6,000 with a 6,000 ante.
Can we change the 5?
You've been here
Oh,
for
sorry.
Any more change before it's
Been here
now?
long?
Yeah.
Give me 2.
Not bad. I play like I actually ran good from the beginning, but I was downstairs. 200 I did one double up and then bump. Got 2k actually when
So big blind is now 6,000.
What's that off his ball?
Seat 4 folds.
I think they said that you were making people's eyes water. with
Seat
your
5
face.
folds.
So have to dim it. Like they call you onion head, don't they?
Seat 6
Better one
folds.
that makes you want to
Seat
cry.
7 folds.
I'm joking, I'm never
Seat
going
8
back.
folds.
I'm joking, I'm never
The
going back.
buttons.
It was actually when they saw the hair.
Yeah, that's their hair. They said get him off.
They've just caught up on streams. So they're like,
Get him
okay,
off.
The button raises 13,000.
I'm all.
No, man, later in private.
Seat 2, small blind folds.
Not me there.
Yeah. How much you got 3 giving out?
You got all your money.
More flop.
Seat 3, big blind calls.
I got 2k.
So nice here.
On what? Oh shit. What
2
about
players
you?
to the flop.
I hope someone else copies that. I think what are you saying? Otherwise-
Seat 3 starts the action.
Yeah.
Seat 3 checks.
Let's go. More of these.
Yeah, yeah.
Seat 1 bet 6,000.
Yeah, check.
Seat 3 folds.
You got a bloody show. You got a really good max that resist. Bet you we don't. You couldn't put it on if you don't.
Yeah. But,
Like, we're good muscles.
yeah. I think that. I think you think she's trolling most of the time. So.
No, no.
Nice.
I was patrolling a lot, actually. You know,
Yeah.
So everyone's got their 500s out.
1, 2,
I know what
which means we go for 3.
it is.
3
Shot
chips.
first.
3, 4, 5, 6 and 8 have 500.
I don't mind.
I think we're dead back.
I think so.
A what? 6 as well.
Take it.
A 4?
Six,
Is it
five.
4-1?
4-1.
6,
Seat 6.
4 spades.
Take it.
Seat 4.
Need it and we'll take it.
Seat 5, 6 and 4.
Have you go?
got to give a shout out to the Doreen Masters Soccer Club. The boys just gave me a text. I was over 35, so what do you say?
Good luck, boys. Don't do a hammy again.
Well, it's cars, mate. We're all over 40.
That's what I mean. Must be like some tissues.
Thank you.
injury.
The action starts with seat 5. 6,000 to call. Seat 5 folds. Seat 6 raises to 12,000. Seat 7 and 8 fold. Seat 1 folds.
Yeah. I'll call it, right? Yeah.
Seat 2 calls 12,000. Seat 3 folds. Seat 4 calls. We have 3 players to the flop. The action starts on seat 4. Seat 4 checks. Seat 6 checks. And seat 2 checks. With seat 4. $15,000 is the bet. Change to come. Seat 6 folds. Seat 3 folds. Yes. Six down.
Look at him trying to bully me.
You gave it away.
What a bully.
Dusted it off.
Dusted it off.
Seat 6
What
folds.
is it? A drawing hand. It's in a drawing hand.
James.
Roll all these chips.
Seat 7 folds. Seat 8 folds. Seat 1 raises to 13,000. Seat 2 folds. Seat 3 folds.
Any big ones? No, it's not the gun plus 1 plus 2.
No.
MP cut off.
Hijack over.
You're having like this. Obviously you're wrong.
Yeah.
I think he's having 4. Pretty good chance.
3 raise.
So 10's definitely a chance.
38,000. Seat 5 folds.
No, look,
Seat 1 folds.
Queen's a good one.
Yeah, no, it's not enough.
Yeah,
Move the button on, please. Thank you.
Those stack sizes.
The ranges are very narrow by the time it gets to me. I'm not finding the 85 seat. Lash. What am I eating, mate? Where you want, man? Good.
Thank you.
The blind just got.
No, we've been up for a while. 6,000.
Large one, okay.
6-7 starts the action. 6,000 to call. Raise to 12,000. Seat 8 folds. Seat 1 fold. Seat 2 folds. Seat 3 folds. Seat 4 folds. Seat 5 folds. Seat 6 folds. You have 2 players to see the flop. Seat 5 first. Check. The bet is 10,000 from seat 7.
How much you playing, sir? 50.
Seat 5 calls. She actions back to seat 5. Seat 5 checks. Seat 7 bets. The bet is $36,000. Raised to $75,000.
We got to play a round the other week. We're actually playing on Friday. He got it on.
Call $75,000. Seat 5 starts. Bet. $80, all in player. Call.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that bad.
So yeah, pretty nice hand to welcome finally someone to help me out in commentary here. I'll tell you what, if I was going to choose anyone, this Blake would have been on top of my list. Welcome, World Series of Poker champion Joe Hashem.
Thank you, mate.
Lovely to see you here.
Good to be here. What a setup.
What a setup.
What a setup.
What I've been talking about for the last hour and a half is just how amazing this is and how different this is to anything we've done.
It's set the bar so much higher now for all the other APT events, hasn't it?
Yeah, there's no going back now.
This is seriously first class.
Sorry?
Notice the players are actually, in every room I've gone to, the players are quite happy, relaxed, and yeah, very different vibe. It's good to see. Good to see poker in Melbourne.
Well, I think that's where we start, Joe. Haven't seen tournament poker in Melbourne outside of Crown. I can't remember the last time. And we travel around. We're fortunate enough. Your brother puts on a great show all around Australia, but we haven't been able to do this in Melbourne. And finally to be able to see this, and I'll tell you, one of the things I've probably stood out for me is there's so many not familiar faces. There's so many people who've come down here who just obviously have never had the chance to play this in Melbourne and been dying for it. It's not just your regulars at all.
I've been saying all week and leading up to this series, the appetite for poker in Melbourne. Hey, there I am. The appetite in Melbourne for poker is second to none in Australia, to be honest. And we've been like a desert here for so long.
Yeah. We just joined this hand here because Chi really needed this at the moment. It's just 42k left. Picks up the
Tam got
aces.
decimated by Jabba, and now he picks up ace at the very next hand.
Take it all.
Jabba decides perhaps to give him a few chips back.
King, 3, whatever. Which quads are you hitting, Jabba? The kings or the threes?
Threes.
Yeah, no.
Maybe 2 pair.
Maybe 2 bit.
There's the 3.
There we go, 3.
Trips will do. Little king ball, king 3.
No side, no side.
Free side, 3 and 3.
I don't need those sides. Give me what's good at. You know what I mean?
Here's a 3. Knock him out. Not going to get it. She stays alive. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, Joe. You know, we were all witness to the explosion, I suppose, you know, straight after you won the World Series, and you know, how big poker was in Crown and Aussie Minions, and you know, they feel like they're halcyon days, and they feel like they were so long ago.
It does feel like a long time ago. Well, to be honest, it all kind of came to a halt at the end of 19, and that's 6 years ago. So it is kind of like a long time.
I don't think you're jamming like absolute rubbish though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like a hell of a long time ago. And we're just up the road from Crown. We're in South Melbourne, but to be able to do this, and, you know, with the help of Dazzler to be able to find a way
just to offer options for players.
Yes.
Look, I'm sure you've spoken about it, but it was no easy feat getting this to happen. You know, the hoops that we've had to jump through, and you know, we always say, you know, how tenacious my brother Tony is, and if this hasn't proven his tenacity, then nothing will.
Yep. And as you know, I've been very close to the coalface of all of that for a long time, and going through regulators and trying to find a way to be able to do this.
6, 7, 5.
I hope they come down and see it, to be honest with you. I hope they actually come down and see how great this is and how crazy it is that we haven't been able to do this for so long down here.
7,000 change from 25.
I honestly believe that poker is a big word of mouth kind of game, and as people are coming and trying and going home and telling their friends and whatever, the numbers will just increase throughout the week, and we've seen a steady increase from day one. It's actually even better than what I expected, to be honest, so far. So I've got no complaints. It's really good.
Yeah, come on down and check it out for yourself. You don't even have to play. Just come down and see the setup.
If you make the final table, I might even buy you a drink.
There you go. Hold him to that. Poor Frank has, again, seen himself start with a reasonably strong hand. He got to his hands caught in the cookie jar a couple of times too. But he does now have the flush draw. Gives him 7 outs here.
25,000.
And his 7 outs is good enough to bet out. Probably still thinks he's ahead, but bets out 25K.
Seat 6 call.
Get the call. It's no joy for Frank on the end.
Don't bet Frank.
He's going to keep going, no, Joe. He's been playing like this the whole time.
Frank's playing his own game, I
He
guess.
is. We said someone on the chat a little earlier say just that Frank think he's paying a $50 APL, so
He's having a good time, that's for
he
sure.
is.
So, this kind of like puts good players like Sean in the blender because
And it does.
You've got nothing to work off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
I'd be hating my life if I was Sean right now. Like, you know, am I just calling off? I'm going to look like an idiot calling with middle pair.
It's a really decent pot. That is going to make a bit of a difference, isn't it? It's a big pot for another
It's
75.
a decent bet on the rivers too.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to make Sean think. But here's the thing, right? When your opponent is oblivious to what is actually going on, it makes it very hard for you to read what's going on. Whereas, you know, if Sean was playing a reg, the reg would never take this line with the hand that he's got. So.
See the unpredictability, isn't it?
And here he goes.
Decides
Is
to
that-
fold.
yeah.
Well done,
Yeah,
Frank.
yeah, yeah.
You just
Good on
got
you,
to
Frank.
applaud. Got to applaud.
I'm rooting for Frank anyway. Like,
Well,
I love the underdog.
and the
giving
old
up.
school,
And
the old school
the old guy
player.
just
He's not sitting there doing math. I can
correct.
tell
He's
ya.
just ramming and jamming. I love it. I love it.
What have you been up to, Joe? You've
Been pretty busy, mate.
I want you to talk us through your birdies and,
Birdies and bluffs.
Birdies and bluffs. I heard it was incredibly successful.
It was, mate. So as you know, a couple of years ago, I came up with the concept of mixing both golf and poker together and raising money for charity at the same time. So we came up with birdies and bluffs, where you get partnered with a random partner on the day for golf. You play together as a team in the golf, and your combined score on the golf course converts to chips at the poker table, and you play a tag teams poker event. And there's prizes along the way for all sorts of stuff, from nearest to pin, longest drive, the best poker team, the best golf team. We got about 100 players.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's really incredible.
And we pulled it off. Like, you know, thank God I put a team together. I would, you know, because you came to the first time I did it by myself, and it was a small 36
It was the
player.
pilot. We did
It was
the
the
pilot,
pilot,
yeah.
yeah. And on the back of that, we saw how much people loved it. So here's, on the back of the success of the first Birdies and Bluffs, we've just locked in Sydney for October 9, and we're talking to National for March next year for Melbourne, and I'm talking to people in LA for June next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to Vegas. We're going to Vegas.
Well,
so many good courses in Vegas.
Oh, there's so many good courses in Vegas. Yeah. So it's yeah. To answer your question, yes, it was a success and very
Where
pleased.
was that? Where did you play that one here?
The Heritage.
At the Heritage.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bit far out, but the course was lovely. People enjoyed it.
That's a great spot. There's a course that doesn't get nearly enough exposure.
No. Yeah, of course. It's a bit of a hike to get out there, but it is for 36 holes of, you know, splendid golf.
Yeah, people tend to forget that we've got a Jack Nicklaus designed course. Because
yeah, it's not talked about a lot.
No. I'll tell you, Joe, I went out when Jack Nicklaus launched that course, came to Australia and launched the course, and I did all their vision for that, for the Heritage.
You're joking?
When he came out, yeah.
Wow.
And got to meet Jack.
Wow. Is he as nice in real life as he appears to be?
Better.
Yeah?
Better.
Yeah. He seems just like salt of the earth, you know, like
Yeah, had time for everyone. And he obviously wasn't an old man then. That must be
Small blind in seat 1-4.
25 years ago, I reckon.
I reckon it would have been early 2000s.
Probably. Yeah.
Because I went, like, I want to say, within the first 6 months of it opening. I remember going there.
Yeah, would have been. You're right. Would have been then. As I got out of TV and opened up my own production company early 2000s. That was one of the. I couldn't believe I got that job. Actually, I don't even know how I got it, but for someone who's a golf lover and oh man, to meet legends, could have paid me to do that.
Seat 2 check.
And the National, wow.
Yeah, I think that National will be special.
Yeah.
Seat 8 check.
You know, like you combine your passions together and it doesn't become a chore anymore. It becomes like, I'm going to do this regardless. It's great. We raise some money for Save Our Sons, which is Duchenne's muscular dystrophy, which affects young boys, which is really good. Everyone had a good time. The excitement level in the room was just...
I just want to say that you
People were just buzzing the whole day.
I would have been in the bar.
So you found a way to combine two things that have absolutely no relation whatsoever. I remember playing that pilot, and that was a lot of fun.
It makes no difference between what a side is anyway, but it's curious.
But you know, poker and golf have a lot in common. A lot in common. The slightest mistake in golf ruins your round. Like completely can ruin your round, right? Slightest mistake in golf and you're walking out the door. In poker and you're walking out the door.
I suppose the biggest difference is in golf you are totally responsible. Your opponent or who you're playing with or anyone else should not affect the way you play at all.
Well, I beg to differ.
Really?
You hit a fabulous drive down the middle of the fairway.
No wonder.
You walk up and it's sitting in the middle of someone's divot. You've done everything right, yeah?
Well, yeah. I suppose, but that's life, isn't it?
Correct. So that's
golf
poker
and
as well.
Poker also reflect
Right?
life.
Yeah,
don't they?
that's poker, right? You play your aces perfectly and the cards run out and the guy with the ace jack makes 3 of a kind. No one did anything wrong.
Yep. If you can find a way for me to bluff in golf, then I'll know that
Then
you've
you're good.
got it made. I suppose people do that. That was 1, 2, 3. I had a 4.
Yeah, the counters. What about this feature table? Pretty stacked feature table.
Very stacked. I think they helped us out downstairs probably to bring a few names and a few yappers up here, and there's been constant talk. We are during the break, as I said, fixing that microphone down there. Its gain is up a bit high, so we turned it up because we didn't think they'd be talking that loudly, and then as soon as it's loud, it's distorting a bit, so we fixed that up. But yeah, right, great table. A lot of these guys really know each other too, obviously.
Yeah.
The way they're chatting away.
The poker world in Australia is small, let alone at the higher stakes level. Two Australian legends there, Sean and Jabba. James. Broom, Tam.
There you are.
I've played high stakes.
So just
Tam
reminding
for years.
everyone, Jay, that why you can be talking to me and being on that shot. We're commentating this a half an hour, obviously, behind.
Yeah.
And,
This proves that we're half an hour delayed, guys.
And we're commentating it live, what you're seeing at home. When it's not being sent out a half an hour later.
Correct.
I unfortunately don't get a chance at all to see what's going on in that room because I'm out here in the booth, but it's nice to get in there, and I bet you had a drink in there.
Oh, I just bought the table around a drinks. That was me just offering the table around a drink.
There's a beautiful bar in there. And during the day, my God,
amazing,
the views.
The only thing missing from that room is cigars.
Yeah, well.
It's the only thing. Just a damn shame.
Yeah, there's no balcony out here. You probably wouldn't want one. Up
No, I
this
wouldn't want
high.
one up here, to be honest.
I'm not quite sure.
There's not too many places you can smoke cigars, Joe. You probably know where they are in
I know where
Melbourne,
they
but
are.
there probably not too many.
All-in player.
You would know, Jay, that
I know
where
where you
I
want
live,
coffee, Joe, but you
there's
can have
supposed to
two.
be
If
a
you
cigar
bust me,
room in there,
added advantage.
which designed and put in by
Added advantage if you bust
our
me, you
great
get
mate
two of
Shane
them.
Warne.
What happened to
That's why I
that?
went in.
They
Canned it.
They canned it. I think it was. I think if he was still with us, it probably would have been a cigar room. Now it's just this.
It'd be hard to say no to Shane if
Yes.
he was still around.
We're about to put a dartboard in there. It's going to become a darts room, one of those electronic
Just a spin over
dartboards.
30.
At least put a golf simulator in there. Or have
We've
you
got
guys
a
already got
golf
one? You've already got
simulator.
one.
Yes, that's there already.
There you go.
You have a pair?
Hang on, what he designed this room? What do you think's in it? It's got a poker table, a golf simulator, and a cigar room. An 18 TV screen.
18 TVs.
31.
Yeah. Love living there, and obviously it's a bit of a shrine to Warnie's. Lots of photos
That
of
would
him
have been best
there.
result for me, French.
We held one about
Well,
one of our poker
my
games
hand are pretty
there,
much the same hand.
just to commemorate him. And did you get to Jackson's the other night to play at Jackson's?
No, I had to bail. Here I am serving drinks now.
There you are. Look at him buying everyone drinks.
There you go.
Scotches there for everyone. Bet you it's a nice scotch too.
You're going to do it right, yeah?
Yeah, well, you're a Scotch man. I don't know, I get nauseous smelling Scotch. I must have got sick on it once a long
You must
time
have.
ago and struggled with it. Talking of Jackson, because he was here the other night hosting that game, what a kid he is to continue his old man's legacy, especially around poker. And he invites all his dad's mates who he used to play with, he still invites them round. They're a different generation, and he still invites us all round to play and keep all that together because he knows his old man would have loved that.
But he's just such a beautiful soul. Like his father would be so proud of the man that he's become, you know? Blackern, you make the final table, buddy, and I'll have a drink ready for you.
Sorry.
Just one of the guys commenting. But yeah, Jackson
Just
is
telling us on the chat there, he was on table 23 with Jackson
there you go.
in his event.
Table 23. There you go. Yeah, no, he's an absolute gentleman, young Jackson. He reminds me so much of his father. He's well-mannered, respectful.
Good player too. Good poker player.
Loves his poker.
Jacko said he's definitely going to try and get back here later in the week and play another tourney. Encourage everyone who's in Melbourne or around the area, come down. You're really missing out if you're a poker fan and a bit of a poker. You don't have to come in and play these high, buy-in events. There's $180 satellites. Come down and have a go.
There's satellites for everything, so don't feel like there's nothing here for you. No matter what your budget is, there'll be something for you to play if that's what you want to do. If you want to play some poker.
Heavy hitters all rocking up here now. Your brother Tony's just come in as well.
He doesn't put on that much weight, mate.
He's just a hitter, not a heavy hitter.
Yeah, he's just called you a heavy hitter, Hash. What do you want me to do?
We'll get Tony on a bit later as we go. This might be a late night tonight for us here. We've got some really late ones coming up, but thought we'd get on tonight, let you see a bit of poker. This,
I think these
first
guys have
day.
got one more level, right?
Yep. We're not too long. We're obviously half an hour behind, so we go a little bit longer than they will. Yep. Thank you, Graham. Lovely to hear from you.
Cheers, Graham.
6, 6 checks. 6, 7 checks. 6, 3.
30,000.
6, 3 bets 30,000.
Sean and James in the hand. This is a hand. And Frankie's in the hand as well.
Well, Frankie's in there. Took it.
Frankie's just taking it down.
Just got a question there for you, Joe. You've got the Hashem deep stack starting tomorrow. How are the bounties working? Any idea?
I believe that if your surname even begins with an H, you have a bounty on you. I definitely know that anybody in my family who plays will have a bounty on them. I'm sorry, mate. I don't have more details, but we'll find out for you. I'll find out the details of that and let you know.
We've handcuffed Tony to make sure he can't play because he's not playing any of these events apparently. But who else is coming down? Daniel is.
Anthony. So yeah, at least 3 of us will play.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool. 3 calls.
Oh, we're not letting Tony play even Hashem deep stack.
Tony could do whatever he likes, but I'm really enjoying seeing Tony as the maitre d' here, as the meet and greet guy, as the not getting caught up in all this stuff. But
that's what he was born to do.
He's the man. He knows every single person here, makes them feel at home, welcome, and that's his job. He's even dressed up for us. And it feels like that. It just feels like a really different event to Southport or Eaton Hill. This has really got some legs doing it this way. It's obviously a little bit of a hassle for the guys to have to leave a table downstairs and grab their chips and come up a lift 41 stories, but I'll tell you what, when they walk in here and get on this table, they don't care.
It's no big deal. We do it at the World Series all the time.
That's true. Yeah.
They make you move from room to room because that's the way it goes. It is what it is. But you're not moving to a dungeon, right?
They're all desperate to get up here. Everyone wants to come and play up here. This really feels VIP.
So remind me, Harvey, the final 3 tables play on the other side. Then the final table moves. Sorry, as in the other side of the feature table, on the 40th floor, right? In a beautiful room.
Yep.
Then the final table gets moved to this room over here as well. So all you got to do is make the final 3 tables, guys, and you'll be in heaven.
Yeah, and you can see there's 37 still in here, 59 entries, which is absolutely incredible. We smashed the guarantee before they even dealt the first card, which is
amazing.
Just great.
Yeah, Graham, the chapter in my book about Tony with the Pope, that's, for those of you who don't know, quite often when Tony's standing next to the Pope, people ask Tony who the guy next to him is.
6-5 on the button folds.
That's how many people my brother knows. But you know what's crazy about Tony? Not only does he know people, he actually knows people. Like he remembers everyone's name and what they did and what they spoke about. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't move us for 1 level.
He also remembers what I did to him when I was 6 years old as well.
Because he's like your wife.
He's like the wife I didn't marry.
I meant your wife. I meant that's the joke about the wife. You can do a million good things. You'll only remember that. That time
he's like a mother-in-law.
15.
I'll tell you what else he's good for. There he is, coming back with a couple of drinks for us. What a man.
There he is, the man.
Thank you, Hash. We're going to get you in after the break, I think. I don't know how much longer we're going here. So,
how long was the break anyway? Oh, they've started back.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So we're obviously half an hour behind Jay, so we'll get the break shortly.
Let's gamble.
Have a look at it.
You know most of the guys on the table here reasonably well?
The majority of them, yeah.
6, 12.
I'd never met Frank before. Is he Victorian?
Yes.
He is.
They kept joking about him having to leave to get his car out of the Crown car park, so I'm assuming he is.
Okay.
Are you rebuying, Tam?
Oh, James and Tam are at it again. All right. Tam's got him in bad shape.
Oh, no good.
I think Tam is all in, yeah? Yeah, Tam is all in.
Yes, got you. Where won't you? maybe. I don't know.
Absolutely ruining me with these shorts.
Yeah, absolutely ruining you.
Guys, finish up the hand you were on.
10 full sweat.
Anyone have a
Ace
9?
9, Ace 10. It's obviously
How about just do like a
both
4-side
suited,
and then
so
split it?
Yeah, first side.
both got some chances here,
Yeah,
but
it's
there's also pretty decent chance of
You okay?
a split.
Must hit this time. I can't lose twice in a row. There's a couple of backdoor clubs.
Chop it up.
Chop it off.
Chop it up, they
Chop,
say.
I'm taking the win, thank you.
On the chop.
Chop it up, 10.
Needs a
more.
10.
Yummy.
How much is that? One's 45, right?
50,000, thank you, sir. All day long.
Discount.
Alright guys, enjoy your break.
Back to square one.
I think we're on break now.
Yes, this looks like this is the break. Joe, thank you so much. It's always great to see you. I'm sure we'll see you and hear you through the week.
Yeah, for sure.
And the last thing we'll say before we go is, if you're in Melbourne, come down. At worst, you'll get to meet Joe Asham. At best, you'll take home a couple of $100,000 from a tournament.
Hey, how bad can that be, right? Thanks, Harvey.
mate. We'll be back shortly. Got a half-hour break.
Suit 2 and 3 fold. It's 8,000 to call now. Seat 5 raises to 16,000. Seat 6 call, 16,000. 6 folds. Seat 8 in the small blind folds. Seat 1 in the big blind folds. 2 players to the floor.
Harvey Silver back with you in commentary here. Thank Joe Hasham so much for giving a bit of his time prior to that little break.
The bet is 50.
Sean and Tam. Going to a flop here. Tam's hit his 9, bets out 15k. Sean, who's a bit over starting stacks, played a lot of hands.
6 calls.
It's going to come along.
Seat 5.
Queen doesn't help a heap, gives him a gut shot. In fact, gives him an open ender, I should say, or a belly buster. An 8. They go check, check. It's not one of the cards that he needed, though. This will, dare say this will go check, check as well. And it does. Tam will show the paired 9 and take 50k. So welcome back if you've just joined us or you've been with us all the way through. This is the Goliath. It's day 1 of the Goliath, a 2-day event here at the Oakwood Premiere in Melbourne and watching the Australian Poker Tour. And if you have just joined us and looking at the pictures and going, wow, where is that? That room is on the 41st floor of the Oakwood. Probably the best view I've seen in Melbourne. Looking out over Port Melbourne in the bay on one side. It's 360-degree views from this level. We're out on the bay side. Still pretty cool looking out there at night, but the view during the day is just phenomenal. And this feels so VIP up here. Got a bar and beautiful velvet couches that you can see there in the back. Had people coming up and hanging out, having a bit of a look. Railing some of these guys who a lot of you would know on this table. It's a really stacked table. There's just in the chat there, you would spew if you drew this table. That's exactly right. A lot of really accomplished players here. Tam's got 18k to call here with the pocket 9s. He instead 3 bets to 50. I think Frank's going anywhere the way Frank's been playing this. But before he does, Frenchie's got a decision here with the pocket 10s. Big stack, Frenchie. He's had a big stack on this table all the way through. Reminder was 200k starting stack, so he's 5 times, which is fair. real hard to do after just a few hours play. The tens, he'll call that. Comes back round to Frank, who raised under the gun with the ace-queen suited. He's looking around at chip stacks here.
Raise. 6-3's made of 100,000.
He's bumped it up to 100K. Don't know how many people are going to be overly concerned here looking at the way Frank's been playing this table. Certainly Frenchie won't be concerned. Tam hasn't been here too long, so probably doesn't have a great read on how Frank's been playing. I will say he's put his hand in the cookie jar numerous times and got caught a few times, but it's enough for Tam to put the rest of his chips in. He's all in for 163K. With the pocket nines. Frenchie decides to get out of the way with the tens. He's going to see the bad news, I suppose, when Frank makes the call here with another 63. And go to the races here. Ace Queen suited against the pocket nines for a huge pot at this point. And this is the sort of stuff you see at this stage of the event. Obviously, it's a rebuy event, and even though it's a huge amount of money, we go to the flop. There's nothing for anyone there, just one heart. Pairs the fives. And our all-in player with the pocket nines survives.
No gamble, no future.
125, 140, 143, 100.
You can take me for the
145,000.
Appreciate it.
150, 160, 163. Yes, good. It's
No, he's gonna bring it, 'cause I'm in the big.
163,000, sir.
Where were you sitting?
163. Yep. 163.
Did you have tens, Frenchie?
If I fold bet, I get not the jamming.
You can't fold there, right?
If I fold bet 100, you got like 400 something.
Yeah, you can't fold gross.
You win a big play, you get a free drink from Tony.
He's boss Tam. He's not here to... Tam doesn't like to play the short pass.
Okay, big blind is in for
Okay,
3.
yeah.
Yep, the big
How
stack.
can you win tournaments if you keep on grinding the same stack?
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
50 plus with time plus the open.
Hey, what's going on?
No, I'll free bet you.
Sorry, Miss Deal.
Miss Dill?
I
Yeah,
need next
Tam's
to
got 3 cards.
So
That's how he's
he
winning.
doesn't need three. Still on one this time, no make up for it.
Sorry, Miss Deal.
Look out for the best move.
Fearless.
What
What are you going to do?
Look out for the best
Free bet,
everybody.
call free bet.
Now I'm here, I'm entertaining you guys, you know.
If I actually gamble this one, I actually not coming tomorrow. You put 2 million in front of me. Then I actually don't need to come.
Thank you. The action starts with seat 4.
You reckon you call again
8,000 call.
if you fold it? You fold that call?
No, but I have to then. If you do 100,000, if you call 100,000, I got 50,000 for 300, for 320.
16,000.
Oh yeah,
change to
but I'm
come.
saying if you fold it, are you calling the all ins?
7 and 8 folds. It's back to seat 1. It's at 16,000 now. Change to come.
You said he had about 450.
Seat 1 called 16,000.
I don't know, man. I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
sick.
yeah,
I feel
yeah,
really.
yeah.
I'm not loving life at 10.
I was thinking doing 100 against you, but then if you do 500, then I'm like
16,000.
when I can ding the 10 and then
Or you just fold the first time out.
16,000.
You
I
had
cannot fold.
Pretend you had it. Pretend you had 10-9.
just like it's a pair.
9,000.
Always against him, always against him.
Look at this guy.
I had aces before, you had 3 aces. I want to play like premiums.
I don't love it.
Yeah, I don't love it as well. I can
Yeah.
fold sometimes.
It's like it's reasonable. It's reasonable.
Thank you. The action starts with seat 3.
What, 10?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, but on the free bet. He's talking about after the free bet.
Raise?
Open the free bet.
Oh, you're folding out. It's reasonable for sure. Yeah.
So,
It would actually fold.
Irvin.
Fold.
I'm not gonna.
You wouldn't have folded 15 years ago, Jabba. Maybe these days.
Seat 3.
Sorry?
The
It's been a pleasure, gents.
Pleasure.
Hopefully we're all back here about 10 o'clock tomorrow night, eh?
Yes, seat 3 is checked. The action's on seat 6. Yes.
Good luck, boys. See you tomorrow, hopefully.
Cheers.
Thank you very much.
The bet is 35,000 from seat 6.
He's a nice spot. Forgot his name.
35,000 seat 6. Seat 1 calls with change to come. 15,000 change. For the river. The action goes to seat 6.
So we see that Sean's missed his flush draw there, and Frenchie again takes the tick mark. Let's just see what Sean might or might not do. Geez, been a lot of hands, Sean. He's actually seen so many hands go all the way. He decides to bet out, have a crack.
105,000.
It's a pretty good bet because all Frenchie's got here is the 8. 105K. Doesn't leave Sean with much behind either. Really puzzling there for Frenchie. Really hard to call this, I think. Well done. Wow. Wow. That's why this bloke is now well over 1 million chips. Come on, get on the chat. Get on the chat. That was some good poker there.
Let's try and buff the Frenchman. That's too much money.
Fish see no danger.
Put out too much money, never bluff. So this guy, actually this guy got too much money but respects him. No respect, man. Never bluff.
What do you mean? I respect. Because you see how long I tank with the fucking
Please,
8?
mate. You were just trying to not snap call him
No,
for the future. You had an
For TV.
exploit.
You're like a friend. I did the exact same thing you do with 10s. I just hold the queen jack offsuit pre.
Never bluff a rich man. Yeah?
No, with the stack.
Yeah, that doesn't
It's
respect money.
different. I try to think, I'll make my read, and then if I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm
That's
wrong.
why I love you, Frenchie.
The money is no money. It's chips, yeah?
I'd actually quit poker if that happened to me. I'd quit. Braggy's gonna quit.
Thank you.
I'll be quitting. Tail between the legs.
Seat
Take a week
6
off
starts
tournament.
the action.
Like, I probably should bluff. My bluff.
Seat 6 folds.
No, it's check flop, bet turn, bet river.
Close to close.
It's
Seat
big
6
difference.
folds.
Yeah, we'll bet
Yes.
that.
Seat 7, seat 8 folds. We're on to seat 1. It's just a big line. Raised to 16,000, seat 1. Seat 2 folds. Seat 3 folds. Seat 5 calls 16,000. 2 players to the flop. the action. Seat 5 checks, seat 1. Seat 1 checks. Seat 5 bets 16,000 and seat 1 folds.
I'll see you, Fred. I'll see you, mate. Can you sign my hat? Can you sign my hat? I'm going to sell it.
If you want, put it in the meeting. But you see how he showed? He showed 7 and I was like, come on.
Yeah, like, what's the ball 7?
That's a long bit many answer.
But you still call.
Yeah, but there's many bluffs there. You check the flop, come on.
Seat 7 starts.
No.
Comes to the call.
I mean,
Seat
if
7
I'm right,
folds,
I'm
seat
right.
8
If I'm wrong,
folds.
I'm wrong. You make me see. Sometimes that's not. You know what?
Seat 1 folds.
Take for 10 seconds.
Yeah, but
Seat
I
2
was hoping
folds.
to get you off bottom. But
Seat 3 folds. Back to small blind.
but I couldn't.
But 8 or
No,
9.
I mean.
8
Small
or 9.
blind folds. Big blind gets to work.
Huh?
Any pair is the same anyway.
What? You wanted to sweat it before.
What leverage you want? 20 big?
No, 16. Oh, Berkey, late match tomorrow, 16 big ones? Yeah, not sure. That might be the first level range.
We are still here, sitting back watching this, enjoying it like you at home on Facebook, on YouTube.
Seat 8. 8,000 folds. Seat 8 folds.
Get on the comments.
Seat 1 folds.
Let us know what you think of this incredible room to start with. This great
Seat 2
feature
raises
table
to
that we've got up here on the 41st floor of the Oakwood Premier in Melbourne. It's the Goliath. It's our big buying event, $2,250 entry, this one. We had a 100K guarantee, which was total prize money guaranteed at 100K. Well, I'll tell you something. We've reached that guarantee before a first card was dealt. And now we have had 61 entries here. It's going to be a really big prize pool. We've got people still entering tonight and tomorrow. They've got 2 levels before we close it off.
16,000.
So probably around 3:30 in the afternoon. So if you get down here to the Oakwood Premier and want to play this one tomorrow, you'll get in. Not have to play a full day. Of course, you don't get the chance to build your chips up like Frenchie has here. Over $1 million. We've got a 200K starting stack. Tournament poker in Melbourne outside Crown. I cannot remember the last time we had this.
Thank you.
Big thanks
8,000.
to our partner Dazzler, our ticket partner. You have to buy your ticket online to play here.
16,000. Raise. Seat 2 raises to 16,000.
Got a ticket fee through Dazzler, and then your tournament fee. 100% of that goes back into the prize money. So
Seat 7 folds in the small blind. 1,000 change.
you know you're getting looked after here. Great community, lots of familiar faces. But as I said to Joe Hasham earlier, lots of faces I don't know because people have been just dying to play tournament poker in Melbourne. Haven't had the chance to do it, and they've come out in droves. 3 levels of tables here. Down on the 3rd floor, we've got our main floor on the 5th floor, and then we've got this one, this special little VIP area up here on the 41st floor that's housing our feature table.
1,000, I'll give you 10 change. Thank you. So 2 players to the flop.
With its own bar. Beautiful velvet couches. People popping up here to spend a bit of time. Great place to watch the players up here. You can come and fill one of those velvet couches if you like. If you're in the Melbourne area, come and sit up here and watch it all transpire. Wayne hits his flush here. Gives him the check mark before we even get to the river. They do go check though. And that's not a great card for Michael because he's hit his king. I've said this before. It's interesting. I get some feedback on the chat when I say it's not a great card. It's not a great card from the perspective of Michael probably, instead of folding, if he doesn't hit there, quickly calling that bet to see where he's at and finding out that he just lost another 31k pretty much because he hit that king. A nice pot. Heading over to Wayne. Yi Li. Known as Wayne, of course. But you can see from those chip stacks up the top there, Frenchie is just killing this table. He's had cards, absolutely, but he's played very well. He's really maximised it when he's had the opportunity. And Tam, who sat down only a short while ago here with his 200k start stack, has already worked it up to nearly 450k. Frank's been the wild card here. Frank's the one who's no one's really been able to work out, and I certainly haven't been able to. Mine a couple of big hands, but also got a little bit loose and had his hand snapped off a couple of times as well. He's pretty much at starting stack. A raise from Frank and both Frenchie and Tam. The two big stacks come along here. Frenchie's hit the jack. And so has Frank. But what Frank doesn't realise is that Frenchie's actually hit 2 pair and is miles ahead here. So Tam's raised here with his pocket sixes. It's the worst hand of the three. But I'll tell you what, he's managed to get rid of the strongest hand there.
Back to seat 3.
Frank stays in.
Seat 3 check.
He checks. Tam. Be concerned that Frank hung around there. And now we've got the 3 diamonds on the board. Tam is going to check as well. Oh, goodness me. Oh, wow. Frank bets straight into the
21,000.
three sixes of Tam. He bets 21K. Tiny little bet into a 170K pot, which now sits at 190. So Tam now is just wondering, did Frank hit that flush? Oh, my trip three's good. Just a little bet. Can't probably really afford to raise here, just in case he has hit the flush. Maybe I just call 21K. Have a look. I don't think there's any ways folding. He does reckon his trip sixes are good. And of course he's right. Frank's only got 125 behind. So he certainly hasn't got enough to bluff this off.
That's the one Foxton won. Foxton won the high roll of it.
They had a lot of really good prize money.
Way too many hands beat Frank here. There's a few other considerations here too. There's only another half an hour or so of play tonight. Is he going to have a look, knowing that he can buy back in? But then again, buy back in, it is another $2,250, so... I think Frank knows he's beat here. It's just feeling sick. And in the end, makes the right decision, but lost a lot of chips along the way. Frank now with 16 big blinds, 125K. He's not the short stack at this table, but it is a bit lopsided. Three players there with a huge amount of chips. Frenchie over $1 million. Tam's got over $500,000. And Wayne over 350. They're all well above starting stack. All the other guys are below starting stack.
By the river, it was no good.
Small blind, please. Yes.
That is a funny hand. You should watch that one.
No, I think the stream is number one, not on anymore.
Sorry?
It's 8,000 small.
Yeah. Really?
6 5 folds. 6 6 folds. 6 7 folds.
Yeah, he'd been around longer than them.
So we get round to Wayne on the button, throws that in. Frenchie's in the small blind. He'll have a look at his pitiful 5-2. 4K to call. Remember, there's an 8K big blind ante in there, so it's worth having a look. And it's small versus big to the flop. 447. Small cards, but not the ones that these guys are holding. Michael bets out, and that is enough. Gut shot. An 8 high had him ahead. So we're counting down to the end of play on the first day of the Goliath. Up there in the corner you can see we've got 35 players left here, 62 entries, which is fantastic, really. $2,250 buy-in event, 62 entries, wow. That guarantee had just been smashed, 100K prize pool guarantee. That was 40 players, smashed. And as I say, you can bet that tomorrow, day 2, there's 2 levels before we close this off, and we'll get considerably more entries. And then I'm going to play this down on the main floor. This is the plan. Play it on the main floor tomorrow, and then when we get to 3 tables, we're going to move them all upstairs here to the 41st floor. There's another function room around the back. Set up the tables there, and we'll have players on this feature table, and we'll move them in till we get to a final table, and then we will play down the final table until its completion tomorrow night. On the basis of the numbers here, I'm going to say that's probably going to be early hours of the morning. And if that works out that way, I'd say that we're more than likely to start our broadcast tomorrow after the dinner break, which will be 8:30 tomorrow night, and then we'll play it all the way through, potentially into 1 or maybe even 2 in the morning. We'll get players in this Goliath to come up and join me in commentary as they get knocked out. We'll also have a couple of special guests tomorrow, but we really wanted to just bring you some poker tonight. We normally only broadcast events that come to a conclusion, and we can present a trophy and players can grab their prize money, but we wanted to give you some poker tonight, give you a feel of what's happening out here, and probably more than anything, encourage you to come down and play at the Oakwood premiere, or at the very least come down and watch. And it's a really different setup. If you've ever been to an APT event before, really different setup, just feels so premium, and up here feels so VIP. If you're lucky enough to get moved to this broadcast table, or indeed get to a final table and get to play up here, you might even have a round of drinks bought for you by Joe Hasham, as happened a little earlier. And of course, they all went for a very high-end scotch. There's no beers. Doesn't have that beer feel here at all. So Michael Egan here on the button has picked up Ace Queen and pushed all in. Sam on the big blind seems to be considering this for a much longer time than
Cannot dominate me.
the cards that are in front of him. It's another 87k to call. He's doing some math in his head, I suppose, and probably knows it off the button. Michael might push in light, and that's what he's decided. He has called, and Michael now at risk with the ace queen. Sam with one of those hands that so much can be made from pre-flop, suited.
Sorry, eggs.
6-9.
It's done, mate.
Doesn't hit there. It's Jack 2-2. 5. Doesn't really help much. It's only a 9 or a 6. It's going to knock him out. And Michael not only survives, but picks up some really important chips.
137.
Oh well, unlucky for me.
140. 13 change.
Yeah, I knew he would have dominated me.
Flop is fours, you'll be doing that final 3 hands to the back. 3 hands. 3. 2 o'clock.
1.
That was the first.
It's all good hand. You call pre, it goes to flop anyway.
Yeah, same thing.
Pretty much.
We'll let you guys know overnight.
You got balls that clank.
So I hope you can hang with us another 20 odd minutes and see this through. The players will bag tonight, bring their chips back tomorrow, and we will see the completion of this big buy-in event.
You just exploited Egan, right? You exploited Egan. He normally folds those.
I was worried for a second there. I was like, I'll do just some aces.
Goliath is definitely one of the feature events of the Australian Poker Tour. Everywhere we go, we might get some fireworks. It's been a bit quiet on this table, but the hands now seem to be coming as Michael, who just he does re-raise here with the king. No, he's just called with the kings. Okay. Bit of a surprise. Frank now on the button. 7-5 suited. He's been pretty loose, Frank. His issue is he's only got 100k behind here. Not really his call, I wouldn't think, so he folds. We get round to Tam. A small blind. Pitiful Jack 4. And then Sean, Jack 9. Just another 8k though. And he decides that's all right. So could have some fun here. 3 to the flop. And it's not a great result here for Sean because he's hit top pair. There's Michael just sitting there with his kings. No one's got spades. This is a problem. It is a problem for Sean. He does whack it all in. It's pretty predictable there. That's his last 53k. Now Wayne would normally be so quick, but of course he's got Michael behind him. He's not going to stay in there. So Michael, with his kings, miles ahead here.
Was that limp? Getting creative in your old age, Egan.
It's really only a jack or a 9 at this stage for Sean. As I said, no one's got any spades. Still a jack or a 9. It's a 6 of diamonds, and we see Sean eliminated just a few minutes before we wrap up and bag. So, well played. Feeling you might just go home now and have a bit of a think, have a good sleep, and in all probability come back tomorrow and fire another bullet into this one. Michael now stacking chips, nearly doubled his starting stack.
There's no small blind in his hand.
Because I'm ripping it as well.
I guess when the start.
And then you get to be chip leader.
And he wins.
Six
When you win
three
the start
folds.
one.
6-3 folds.
Tam on the button with jacks.
Sorry? What?
No small blind.
No small blind. So it should be easier to steal.
You think it's right, but it's wrong. What? It's just wrong.
6-5 raises to 16,000.
Oh my.
Oh, wow. God. And Jabba picks up queens in the big blind. Jabba decides
6-7 re-raises to 50,000.
that he's going to raise, as you imagine he would. 50k. Cam's not going anywhere with jacks. This is it's a position that you see often in poker. The player on the button raises, and often raises light, hoping that the small and big blind don't really have anything. This time he didn't have a small blind to contend with, just the big blind, and James has woken up with a monster. And now it's back to Tam. And the psychology here is, does James just come back over the top because he thinks I'm pushing light on the big blind? So he decides, nah, I'm gonna go, and then James of course goes all in. It's a call, and it's Jabba at risk here. All in for 175k, but his queen's miles in front of the jacks. You can see the percentages there, 88% to 12%. Gonna have to come from a long way back. Tam.
Here comes the jack.
Oh, jack and a queen. Wow. Can you believe it? Can you believe it?
Whenever it comes down.
I suppose the saving grace for the table was that the queen was exposed first, not the jack. So Jabba doubles. Now has a really decent chip stack, and Tam, who was up above 500,000 chips not that long ago, has lost about half of them.
Short stack again. Oh my god.
Okay, the button is dead.
So this has been fun, but I wouldn't say that we've had too many monsters against monsters to give us fireworks for a lot of this, but the last little bit has been all action.
A lot of tax.
No, swapping back now. I think it's last hand you played.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Last hand? Or all
Last
one?
hand.
Swap back if you want.
Alright. Blind or in?
How many chips you got?
Blind? Who wants to flip?
More.
Oh, you don't have to play your button now.
So just a few more hands tonight.
Ah, got a button again.
Players will bag and come back tomorrow, assuming they don't bust out in the next few hands. And again, remind you that if you're in Melbourne and you want to play this, you can come back tomorrow and buy back in within the first 2 levels. It should be before about 3:30 in the afternoon. But if this is a little bit out of your league, this is a pretty big buy-in tournament. $2,250. You can come down, just have a look at the schedule on Facebook, on the APT website. You can come and play a satellite for $180 and make your way into the main event. Joe Hasham will be here with the rest of the Hasham family tomorrow playing the Hasham Deep Stack. I think that's a 600 buy-in. That's a beauty. Come and play that with the Hasham clan. Anthony and Daniel, and I just don't know if we're going to let Tony off the leash to actually play an event. Potentially not. He's doing a great job doing the meet and greets, so we might just let him say g'day. Frank's all in now. 105. And he's going to get the walk round. Everyone else is going to fold. Picks up 20K. And I reckon that might be it for us tonight. The plastic bags are out on the table. The players bag up. They're all given a Sharpie. They write on the outside how many chips they've got in there, and they make sure it's the same amount of chips tomorrow when they get their bag back and start playing. We will be back for the stream at 8:30 p.m. straight after the dinner break tomorrow night, Melbourne time. Nice early one for us tonight. Have a good night to you all, and hopefully we'll actually see you out here at the Oakwood Premier at some stage this week. Good night.